Hey guys, this is Reggie. So this weekend, I wanted to, well, actually did. I changed the oil on my wife's Infiniti G37. Now, I've done oil changes for a lot of cars in the past that I've had, right? And they're all relatively easy. The hardest part, I would say, about an oil change is pretty much getting the car on jack stands or ramp, whichever method you have. The ramps are easier once they're on, I do have to say. I've got the Rhino ramp, I think it's called Rhino ramps, I'll link it below. Super easy, you know. The only hard part about the Rhino ramps is that aligning the tires on it and then not putting too much throttle where you might go over. And when you see the picture, you'll know what I mean. You just want to be careful, you know. You gotta caress the throttle so that you could just go on the top and just park it there. I usually have my wife direct me just to make sure that I don't. That's the scariest part. That's it, because I don't want the car falling off and anything else. I don't know if it happens or not. At the end of the Rhino ramp, there is that little edge that picks up about a few inches. That should be enough to stop it, as long as you don't floor it. But it's still scary stuff, you know. It still feels like you're gonna go over the ramp. So that's one of the options. And the other one, of course, is to jack it up. The hard part about that is that you gotta make sure that you have the right jack point. You can always Google it, but sometimes they're not as clear on how to do it. So this time around, I used the jack points. So I had to go online to find out the correct jack point. So I have jack stands too. Use the jacks to jack up the car. Use the jack stand to put the car on and leave it on there. So I have a low profile jack, which is awesome. Like even on non-low cars, it's perfectly fine because it goes in. So for the method, I used this oil change. What I did was I pretty much just used jack stands and a jack to get the car up so that I could go underneath it and do what I needed to do. The best way to raise a car up and leave it up while being safe, in my opinion, is using a combination of a jack stands and jack, right? So the easiest method is, of course, to find out where your jack points are for the car. You gotta Google it to find out. I had to Google the Infinitis. Of course, the common ones are on the sides. It's right behind the tire. There's like indications that will give it up pretty easily on where the jack stand point is. But if you lift that side up with a jack, you can't really put a jack stand in it because you're using the jack to lift it up. And I know it sounds all weird, but hopefully the pictures I put make sense. So what I had to do was I had to find a centralized jacking point, put the jack there, and it was right in the middle of the engine, right between the front axles. So I went ahead and jacked that up, and once that was up, because I was using low profile jack, it was easy. If I had a normal size jack, it wouldn't have been easy at all. So just FYI. And now, just a heads up, this is how difficult it is. I'm just explaining the initial part. I haven't even gone to the main part. So once that was jacked up, Jesus Christ, that's freaking crazy. Once that was jacked up in the front, then I was able to put two jack stands on the sides, and then I was able to lower jack, and they were perfectly secured. I was safe, everything else. Okay, that is supposed to be the hardest part of an oil change, in my opinion, because you got to do all that shit, right? You got to make sure it's safe. You don't want to get underneath the car to do an oil change and find out that you didn't do it properly, and bam, you're dead. So there. Now once I get underneath it, I'm all looking. I'm like, oh, where's the oil filter? You know, I don't see it. Well, turns out they have a underbody cover, which is great for aerodynamics, you know. But holy shit, it had 20 10mm bolts. I wouldn't call them screws because they were kind of like bolts, mini bolts, that I had to undo. 20, okay? Oh my god, it took so long. So unscrewing them is easy because you could just get a power tool and just zip, you're done. But putting it back on, that's another story. We'll get to that. So after the 20 unscrewed, I saw the filter. I was able to hand unscrew it fine. Luckily for this car, and it kind of makes me wonder, whoever owned it beforehand must have modded it a little bit or something, because it doesn't use the traditional bolt for the oil pan. It has those really cool ones that I used to have on my Evo, where it's a little plug that's plugged in and it's completely blocked just in the same spot. But there's a trigger switch. You trigger the switch open and the oil drips out, and then you trigger the switch closed again and the oil closes up again. It's really awesome. I highly recommend it. I might actually buy it for my Sonata once I get it back, because it just makes things so much easier. You don't have to think about or buy the crush washers, which, you know, they're cheap, but you have to go buy them somewhere, and I don't want to do that. So once I saw that, I was like, fuck, this is easy. Did that, did the oil change, took the filter, super easy stuff. The oil change itself is fucking easy. Like, it's literally too easy, you know. Check for leaks, everything is fine. Now the pain in the ass part, I had to put the entire pan back up and hand tighten the 20 bolts. Hand tighten, fucking hell, dude. That took forever. Once I did that, you know, I was cussing the whole time. Checked everything, and everything was done. You know, put the bad oil in the recycle container, which I'm going to take to AutoZone because I take oil. Don't dump oil in the trash can or put it down the drain. That's bad. Just take it to the recycle joint. They take it for free. You don't even have to do anything. You just take the goddamn oil, and they'll take it for free. That's how cool it is. So that's done. Now, this entire process, because I haven't done a G37's oil, I used to have a G37, right? But that was, I used to take it to the dealership to get it done because we had prepaid for the maintenance. Well, that was such a pain in the ass oil change. What the hell? I've done the Sonatas, cake. I've done the Miata, easy. Pilot, easy. Fuck, I can't remember. Evo, fucking easy. G35, easy. Like, I don't know, every car I've had, the oil changes have been stupidly easy. The Slingshot, easy. I mean, the Slingshot was fucking easy, because I don't even have to, what I did was I bought those fluid extractors, and the filter on the Slingshot is on the top, so I don't even have to go underneath the car. So all I do is I just get the fluid extractor, put it through the dipstick, I'll link it below, and then let it just suck the oil out. It works really well, because, I mean, it fucking extracts the oil. But, my God, man, like, you gotta be shitting me. Why was it such a pain in the ass to change the oil? I was cussing the whole time. My wife was like, you know what, next time let's just take it to the dealership. And I was kind of agreeing with her. I'm like, yeah, we should. But then, oil change for that is about $100. To me, that's just fucking getting raped in the ass. I'm sorry, but I don't like getting raped in the ass, you know. So that's just a no-no. Not gonna happen. No thanks. So I'll do it myself. Now that I have done it the first time, of course, the first time is always the most difficult. I know how to streamline this. I know how to make it easy. I don't, in my opinion, because I know where the oil pan or the oil filter is and where the switch for the drip pan is. I don't have to take off the entire body cover anymore, the lower body cover. I can just take off the certain section of it and let it fall down and then do it. I kind of have it figured out, so it should be easier next time. But man, what a pain in the ass. Like, literally, what a pain in the ass. The other thing I will not do is I won't be doing the jack and the jack stands. I'm just going to take it up the ramp. It just jacking it up and aligning and all that bullshit just takes forever. Just take it up the ramp, call it. It's so much easier and faster just to take it up the ramp, you know. So yeah. But anyway, just wanted to let you guys know what a pain in the ass process that first oil change was for the G37. It really was, and it's like, fuck, man. Like, are you kidding me? It's supposed to be an easy shit. I know Beamers are complicated, Mercedes and Audis are hard and complicated, but Infiniti, like, it's a Japanese car. What the hell happened? It's the stupid underbody panel, you know. I get it. It improves aerodynamics. I just wish that they didn't use 20 screws. I wish there was an easier way that they did it, where you didn't have to use 20 screws. Maybe 10. 10 would have been easier, but 20? Fuck, man, that's a lot. Unscrewing it, like I said, is easy. But screwing it back up, man. And I don't know, I'm debating about using push pins next time. You know, the car standards. Push pins to kind of do it next time. That way, those are easy to pop in and out versus the bolts. But then again, I'm just wondering, at high speeds, the bolts do make a difference. They secure it better. I don't know if the push pins will do their job as they're supposed to. So there's that. What do you guys think? What do you guys think I should do? Stick with the bolts, or go with the push tabs, push pins, whatever you want to call it, and then see if that helps. Anyway, if you guys have changed your oil, let me know how easy or hard that has been. I'm telling you, the G37s was the hardest, and it was just because of the underbody panel. That's it. The oil change itself is an easy process. You know, the jack stands and the jack. I think all cars are identical in that regard, so you can't really beat that. I think the ramp is easier. But let me know. Like the video if you liked it. I know this was a lot of rambling, and it was kind of like weird, but it just, you know, it was just on my mind, and I was just like pissed off about how long it took me to do an oil change. It never takes me that long to do an oil change, so it just pissed me off that it took me like fucking an hour to do a goddamn oil change. So I'm mad at myself about that. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and then I'll speak to you in the next one, guys. Oh yeah, comment below. Let me know what you guys think or do for your oil change. Peace.